On the bustling trade planet Zifar, under the vibrant glow of its twin suns, Ambassador Daniel Torin and his son, Alex, meandered through the crowded lanes of the galactic fair. Zifar was a melting pot of the galaxy's cultures, a place where species from all corners came to trade, share knowledge, and showcase their traditions. For Daniel, it was an opportunity to foster diplomatic ties. For 8-year-old Alex, it was an adventure in a universe of wonders. As they approached a booth showcasing exotic pets from the Silex system, Alex's curiosity was piqued by a colorful creature resembling a cross between a parrot and a squirrel. Engrossed, he didn't notice a young Valorian, a species known for their strength even in youth, approaching the same exhibit. The Valorian child, named Kor, was equally interested in the creature and reached out to pet it, just as Alex did. The two hands met, not in greeting but in competition for the creature's attention. Words were exchanged, with Alex insisting he was there first. Kor, who was bigger and older, used his size to intimidate, pushing Alex aside. Unperturbed, Alex relied on his wits. He feigned a step back, then pointed excitedly behind Kor, exclaiming about a fictitious escaped creature. As Kor turned, Alex, using the distraction, gently scooped up the pet, presenting it to the boothkeeper, claiming a temporary victory. Kor, realizing he'd been tricked, felt a mix of admiration and embarrassment. The onlookers, a mix of various species, chuckled and whispered among themselves, marveling at the young human's cunning. Word of the incident spread like wildfire across the fair, carried by every trader and visitor who witnessed or heard about the cunning human child. It wasn't just the act itself, but the realization that such wit came so naturally to a human so young, sparking conversations about the nature of human upbringing. Daniel, aware of the growing crowd and the stir Alex had caused, gently guided his son away from the booth, seizing the opportunity to discuss the nuances of behavior and perception. "Alex, it's important to be smart, but it's also important to be kind," Daniel explained, his voice calm and thoughtful. "You have the ability to think quickly and solve problems, which is wonderful. But remember, our actions can affect how others see us and how we represent our people." Alex, listening intently, nodded, his young mind processing his father's words amidst the backdrop of the bustling fair. The incident, minor as it might seem, became a defining moment in the galactic community's perception of human children. They were not just offspring, but bearers of a culture that valued cleverness and adaptability. As Daniel and Alex continued their tour of the fair, Daniel mused on the potential impact of Alex's actions. He realized that these seemingly small moments contributed to a larger narrative about humanity and the galaxy. With each step and every new stall they visited, Daniel knew that eyes were on them, watching, learning, and always underestimating the depth of human capability, even in its youngest representatives. Following the incident at Zifar, the tale of young Alex's clever maneuver spread far beyond the confines of the galactic fair, weaving through the interstellar community like a captivating myth. Soon enough, the tale reached the ears of the Galactic Council, sparking a series of heated debates about the nature of human children and the implications for future interactions. Ambassador Daniel Torin was summoned to a special session of the Council, held on the neutral planet of Drexel. The Grand Chamber, with its hovering seats and translucent walls, shimmered with the presence of representatives from dozens of star systems. As Daniel entered, a hush fell over the assembly, the weight of their scrutiny palpable in the air. "Esteemed members of the Council," Daniel began, his voice echoing slightly in the vast chamber, "I stand before you to address the incident involving my son, Alex, at the Zifar Fair. It was a display of quick thinking, a trait we nurture in our young as part of their education. Our children are taught to be resourceful, to solve problems creatively, and to face challenges with a positive spirit." His explanation did little to assuage the growing concern among the council members. Yorix, a delegate from the Thulian system, raised a pointed question. "Ambassador Torin, isn't it alarming that even your younglings exhibit such cunning? Could this not suggest a potential for future manipulations and, dare I say, deceptive diplomacy?" Daniel responded calmly. "On Earth, we believe in fostering independence and ingenuity from a young age. This is not to cultivate deceit, but to prepare our next generation for a universe full of challenges. It is our hope that these qualities ensure they contribute positively to the galactic community." Yet the Council's unease stemmed from deeper roots. Human children, with their capacity for innovative thinking and unpredictability, were now seen not merely as curious and vivacious, but as potential agents of chaos if their abilities were not guided correctly. The very traits that Daniel championed were viewed by some as a latent threat. Seeing an opportunity to turn this fear into a bridge for understanding, Daniel proposed a cultural exchange program. Let us bring our young ones together. Allow them to learn from each other, to share their strengths and perspectives. What better way to build trust and friendship among our stars? The proposal sparked interest among several delegates, particularly those from civilizations valuing education and cultural enrichment. A plan was set into motion to host a series of intergalactic youth summits, where children from various worlds could meet, engage in joint educational programs, and participate in structured activities designed to foster mutual respect and cooperation. As the council session concluded, the resolution to initiate the youth summits was passed with a mixture of optimism and reservation. Daniel left the chamber, his mind fraught with thoughts of the future. He knew that much depended on the success of this initiative, not just the dispelling of fears about human children, but the strengthening of humanity's role within the galactic community. Back on Earth, preparations began for the first summit. Daniel discussed the council's concerns with educators and leaders, ensuring that the program would not only showcase the best of human culture, but also respect and embrace the diversity of the galaxy. As the plans took shape, so did the hopes and concerns of countless worlds, all watching to see how a small human child's actions at a fair might change the course of galactic diplomacy. As the plans for the Intergalactic Youth Summit took shape, Ambassador Daniel Torin worked tirelessly to ensure the event would not only bridge cultural gaps, but also demonstrate the positive aspects of human upbringing. The chosen venue was Earth, a planet renowned for its diverse ecosystems and rich history, providing a backdrop that highlighted humanity's commitment to environmental stewardship and peace. The summit brought together children from across the galaxy, ranging from the silicon-based Geonites, whose crystalline structures gleamed under the Earth's sun, to the feathered Sci-Fi of the high-gravity world Yaldek. Each group arrived with their unique customs and learning styles, creating a vibrant tapestry of alien youth. Among them, Daniel's son, Alex, became an unofficial ambassador. His earlier escapade at Zifar had made him somewhat of a celebrity, and his eager, open demeanor made him a fast friend to many of the visiting children. The summit activities were diverse, including collaborative problem-solving exercises, art and music sessions reflecting different cultural expressions, and physical activities that accommodated the various species' physiologies. A key moment came during a simulated crisis management exercise designed to teach the children about teamwork and leadership in stressful situations. The scenario involved a failing space station where teams had to work together to save the station and its crew. Alex and a Serafi girl named Tala became the leaders of their mixed-species group. The exercise was intense, with alarms blaring and lights flashing as the simulated station spiraled toward disaster. Alex's ability to remain calm and think clearly under pressure came to the forefront. He delegated tasks according to each team member's strengths, which he had taken the time to learn about during the summit. Tala, with her species' ability to process information at high speeds, coordinated communications and data analysis. The team's performance was impressive, managing not only to save the space station, but also ensuring the safety of all crew members involved in the exercise. Their success was broadcast as part of the summit coverage, showcasing the effectiveness of cooperative efforts between diverse groups and highlighting human children's propensity for leadership and crisis management. This event did much to dispel some of the fears surrounding human children, illustrating how traits like creativity and adaptability could lead to positive outcomes when combined with the strengths of other species. It also showed the galactic community the potential benefits of integrating diverse perspectives and abilities from a young age. As the summit concluded, many of the children were reluctant to part ways, having formed genuine bonds that crossed planetary and species borders. The farewell ceremony was a mix of traditional human hospitality and a colorful amalgamation of the various cultures represented at the summit. For Daniel, watching Alex mingle and say goodbye to his new friends, the summit was a resounding success. It had not only served to educate and unify the galaxy's youth, but had also provided a platform for human children to be seen as valuable contributors to the galactic dialogue. The initiative promised a future of continued collaboration and mutual respect, laying the groundwork for a more interconnected and harmonious galactic community. While the summit on Earth showcased the potential of galactic unity and understanding, not all were swayed by the spirit of cooperation. Far from the bright lights of diplomatic gatherings, in the shadowy fringes of the galaxy, the Krylox, a species known for their predatory tactics and isolationist tendencies, watched with growing concern. The Krylox, who had long viewed the diverse capabilities of other species as tools to be exploited, saw the human children's abilities highlighted at the summit as a particularly valuable asset. Convinced that harnessing these traits could enhance their own strategic operations, the Krylox devised a covert plan to kidnap human children. Their target was not just any group of children, but those who had demonstrated exceptional skills at the recent summit, including Alex Torin, whose problem-solving prowess and leadership had been broadcast across the galaxy. Under the cover of darkness, a small fleet of Krylox ships slipped into the solar system, using advanced cloaking technology to evade detection. Their approach was cautious. Their knowledge of Earth's defenses, gleaned from clandestine reconnaissance missions, informed their actions. They landed at a remote area near where the summit had taken place, where security was lighter and the terrain familiar to them from surveillance. The abduction was swift and silent. Alex and several of his friends from the summit were taken from a camping trip organized as a post-summit activity. The sudden disappearance of the children triggered immediate alarms, and Ambassador Daniel Torin was informed of the crisis just as dawn broke over Earth. The news of the kidnapping sent shockwaves through the global community, both on Earth and across the galaxy. The incident was not just an attack on Earth's youngest citizens, but a blatant violation of the spirit of intergalactic cooperation that the summit had worked so hard to build. Ambassador Torin, though struck with personal fear for his son, responded with decisive action. He appealed to the Galactic Council and the allies made during the summit, framing the abduction as a galactic threat, not merely a terrestrial one. The response was immediate and unified. The Krylox's actions had crossed a line, and the galactic community rallied in support of the human children. Meanwhile, on board the Krylox ship, Alex and the other children, though scared, did not lose their presence of mind. Drawing upon their training and the lessons from the summit, they began to assess their situation. Alex encouraged his peers to stay calm, using whispers and gestures to communicate and plan their next steps. The children quickly realized that their best chance of escape lay in understanding and manipulating the technology aboard the ship. Working together, pooling the diverse knowledge each had of technology and alien engineering, they began to formulate a plan to sabotage the ship's systems. Their efforts were a testament to the very qualities that the Krylox had sought to exploit: ingenuity, bravery, and the ability to work as a cohesive unit under pressure. As the Krylox navigated back to their home territory, unaware of the brewing storm within their ship, Alex and his friends prepared to turn the tables, proving that even in the direst circumstances, the spirit of human resilience and cooperation could prevail. As the Krylox ship hurtled through space, making its way towards the shadowy fringes of the galaxy, the kidnapped children, led by Alex, began their intricate plan to regain control. They had learned enough about the ship's layout and systems during their captivity to start their sabotage operations. The plan was to disable the ship's internal communications first, creating confusion among the crew, followed by a shutdown of the navigation systems to stall their journey. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Ambassador Daniel Torin coordinated a rescue mission. Using the full extent of human technological prowess and the strategic assistance from their galactic allies, he spearheaded a pursuit that would stretch across star systems. A fleet comprising both human and alien vessels, each equipped with the latest tracking and stealth technology, was assembled and dispatched post-haste to intercept the Krylox ship. On board the Krylox vessel, the children executed the first part of their plan flawlessly. Using a makeshift device crafted from spare electronic components, they managed to create a short circuit in the ship's communication grid, effectively cutting off communication between different parts of the ship. This initial success buoyed their spirits and provided them with the confidence needed to tackle the more complex navigation systems. Using the chaos resulting from their first move, Alex and a couple of his peers sneaked into the engine control room. Here, they applied what they had learned about alien technology during the summit workshops. With a careful rearrangement of power conduits, they succeeded in temporarily disabling the ship's hyperdrive, making it impossible for the Krylox to make the jump to faster-than-light speed, which drastically slowed their escape. As the Krylox crew scrambled to repair the damage, unaware that the saboteurs were their young captives, the Galactic Rescue Fleet made significant progress. Using a combination of advanced tracking algorithms and intel provided by allies familiar with Krylox technology, they closed in on the disabled ship. The pursuit was not just a testament to human determination, but also a showcase of interstellar cooperation. ships from different civilizations worked in concert, employing tactics that emphasized their respective technological strengths. The Teliar pilots, known for their agility, ran interference, confusing the Krylox's defensive systems, while Jorax engineers supported by disabling electronic countermeasures that the Krylox attempted to deploy. Back on the Krylox ship, as Alex and his friends prepared for what they hoped would be their final act of sabotage, the rescue fleet launched a coordinated attack. The fleet engaged the Krylox defenses with precision strikes, aiming to disable rather than destroy, keeping in mind the safety of the children on board. In a thrilling culmination of their efforts, the rescue fleet managed to breach the Krylox ship's defenses, docking with it in a daring maneuver. A specialized rescue team, including members who spoke Kryloxian, boarded the vessel. They quickly subdued the remaining crew and began searching for the children. The reunion of Alex and his fellow captives with their rescuers was emotional. The children, though exhausted and stressed, had managed to survive and even outwit their captors through their bravery, intelligence, and cooperation. The return journey to Earth was a victory lap across the stars, celebrated not just by the people of Earth, but by all those throughout the galaxy who had followed the harrowing chase and rescue. This remarkable episode demonstrated not only the resilience and capability of human children, but also the strength of galactic unity in facing adversity. It underscored the values shared across species and planets, strengthening the bonds of the newly formed interstellar alliances. Upon their triumphant return to Earth, Alex and the other children were hailed as heroes, not only for their courage, but for embodying the spirit of unity and resilience that had come to define the new interstellar alliances. News of their ordeal and resourcefulness spread, reinforcing the image of human children as exceptionally capable and adaptable. Ambassador Daniel Torren, in the wake of this crisis, saw an invaluable opportunity to further solidify the bonds that had been crucial in rescuing the children. He organized a galactic conference, inviting leaders and representatives from all the allied species that had participated in the rescue operation. The conference was set on Earth, designed to discuss the establishment of a permanent intergalactic task force dedicated to preventing and responding to threats against civilians, especially children, across the galaxy. As the conference commenced, Daniel took the stage to address the assembly, which included many who had seen firsthand the unity and effectiveness of the diverse coalition during the rescue mission. The courage shown by our children and the unity we witnessed across our galaxies should not fade into memory as merely a response to a crisis, Daniel proposed. Instead, let it be the foundation of a lasting alliance that seeks to protect the most vulnerable among us. The proposal received enthusiastic support. Representatives from various civilizations shared their insights, building upon Daniel's proposal to create a comprehensive framework for the new task force. This collaboration resulted in the formation of the Galactic Unity Brigade, GUB, a multi-species military and humanitarian force. Its primary mission was to conduct peacekeeping operations, oversee the safety of interstellar travel for civilians, and respond to emergencies and threats in any member territory. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Alex and the other children were involved in a series of educational programs and public speaking engagements. They shared their experiences, discussing not only their survival but the importance of cooperation, knowledge sharing, and preparedness. These engagements were broadcast across the galaxy, inspiring other children and adults alike, and educating the public on the new initiatives being put in place by the GUB. The formation of the GUB also prompted a surge in cultural exchange programs, with a focus on educating the youth of all species about the diverse cultures, technologies, and values of the galactic community. Schools across the galaxy began to include curriculum elements that prepared children for not only planetary but interstellar citizenship, emphasizing skills such as multilingual communication, cross-cultural etiquette, and basic survival skills for different environments. The success of the GUB and the ongoing educational initiatives led to a significant decrease in incidents similar to the Krylox abduction. The presence of the GUB reassured the galactic community, fostering a sense of security that further encouraged trade, travel, and cooperation among planets. As the anniversary of the children's return approached, a special celebration was planned on Earth, attended by delegates from across the galaxy. The event not only commemorated the rescue, but also celebrated the achievements of the past year under the GUB's protection. During the celebration, children from various worlds performed music and dance from their cultures, symbolizing the unity and diversity that had become the hallmark of the new era. Ambassador Daniel Torren, watching Alex mingle with his peers from different planets, felt a deep sense of pride and hope. the lessons learned from the bravery of a group of children had evolved into a galactic movement, transforming the way civilizations interacted with and protected each other. The legacy of that harrowing experience had become a beacon of cooperation, shining across the stars. The success of the Galactic Unity Brigade, GUB, and the broadened educational and cultural exchanges had a profound impact on interstellar relations. However, as these initiatives flourished, it became apparent that formal legal structures were needed to underpin these efforts and ensure the long-term security and rights of all galactic citizens, especially the young. Ambassador Daniel Torin, inspired by the effectiveness of the previous year's diplomacy and cooperation, proposed a new treaty, the Treaty of Unity, to the Galactic Council. This treaty aimed to formalize the principles of mutual protection and respect that had been demonstrated so effectively by the GUB. It would also establish a legal framework for the rights of children across the galaxy, ensuring they were safeguarded against any form of exploitation or harm. The drafting of the Treaty of Unity was a meticulous process, involving legal experts, diplomats, and representatives from various civilizations. Each article was debated with the intent to reflect the diverse legal and cultural norms of all member species. One of the pivotal clauses was the establishment of a universal education standard, which included mandatory teachings on galactic diversity, conflict resolution, and emergency preparedness. As the treaty took shape, Daniel organized a series of forums on Earth, inviting parents, educators, and community leaders from different planets to discuss the impact of these new laws on their societies. These forums were instrumental in shaping public opinion and ensuring that the treaty would be accepted and implemented effectively across varied social structures. Meanwhile, Alex, now a teenager, became actively involved in these forums, sharing his experiences and insights as a survivor of the Krylox incident. His powerful testimony about the importance of preparedness and mutual understanding resonated deeply, making him a prominent advocate for the treaty's adoption. Finally, the day came for the signing of the Treaty of Unity. Held on the neutral planet of Paxis 5, the ceremony was attended by heads of state, diplomats, and citizens from across the galaxy. The event was broadcast live, allowing billions to witness this historic moment. As each leader signed the treaty, there was a palpable sense of a new era dawning, a commitment to a future where the well-being of each citizen, especially the youngest, was a shared responsibility. Following the signing, a massive celebration ensued, marked by performances, speeches, and a shared meal that featured dishes from numerous worlds, symbolizing the unity and cultural richness of the galaxy. Children, including Alex, played prominent roles in the festivities, embodying the hope and promise that the Treaty of Unity represented. The treaty not only solidified the legal protections for children, but also strengthened the mandate of the GUB, allowing it to operate with greater authority and resources. It mandated member planets to cooperate fully in matters of security, education, and cultural exchange, cementing the framework for a lasting peace. In the following months, the impact of the Treaty of Unity became evident. Incidents of interstellar crime, especially those targeting the vulnerable, dropped significantly. Educational exchange programs saw increased participation, fostering a generation of galactic citizens deeply aware of and invested in the well-being of their diverse neighbors. Ambassador Daniel Torin, reflecting on the journey from crisis to unity, felt a deep satisfaction. The galaxy had not only responded to a threat, but had transformed it into an opportunity to build something enduring. From the chaos and fear had risen a coalition of species bonded by shared values and hopes, a testament to the power of unity and the strength found in diversity. As the first anniversary of the Treaty of Unity approached, the Galactic Council planned a grand celebration to mark this milestone and reflect on a year of unprecedented peace and cooperation. The event was scheduled to take place on Earth, where the first seeds of interstellar unity had been sown during the Youth Summit that sparked a galactic movement. Ambassador Daniel Torin, alongside his son Alex, who had grown into a prominent youth ambassador, prepared to host dignitaries and guests from across the galaxy. The celebration was designed not only as a showcase of the successes brought about by the Treaty of Unity, but also as a forum to discuss future initiatives and projects under the treaty's framework. The celebration kicked off with a grand parade featuring representatives from each member civilization. They wore traditional attire and carried symbols of their cultures, creating a vivid tapestry of colors and sounds that streamed through the streets of New York City. The parade ended at the United Nations Plaza, which had been transformed into a venue for the day's festivities. Daniel took to the stage to deliver the opening remarks. He spoke of the challenges the galaxy had faced and how the collective efforts of all civilizations had turned potential strife into a beacon for peace. Today, we celebrate not just what we have achieved, but also what we aspire to continue building. A universe where every being, no matter how small or where they come from, can live in security and dignity, he declared. Following his speech, a series of panels and discussions took place, involving experts, politicians, and citizens from various worlds. Topics included the expansion of the Galactic Unity Brigade's role, enhancements to the Universal Education Standards, and the introduction of a galaxy-wide emergency response system. Alex participated in a panel on youth leadership, sharing his personal journey and discussing the role of young people in maintaining and advancing the ideals of the treaty. As the afternoon turned to evening, the event transitioned into a cultural festival. Artists and performers from dozens of planets showcased their traditions through music, dance, and art. Among the highlights was a collaborative performance by children from different planets, including a piece composed by Alex that combined musical elements from Earth with those from his friends' homeworlds. The climax of the celebration was a light show in the skies above, where holograms and lasers painted stories of the galaxy's journey to unity. Images of children from different species playing together, teams working on joint projects, and peaceful gatherings at various summits illuminated the night, symbolizing the bright future envisioned by the Treaty of Unity. As the guests departed, their hearts filled with hope and their minds buzzing with ideas for the future, Daniel and Alex stood together, watching the night sky. "We've come a long way, Dad," Alex said, squeezing his father's hand. "Yes, we have, and it's just the beginning," Daniel replied, his eyes reflecting the stars above. The story of how fear and misunderstanding were transformed into a galactic alliance through the courage and wisdom of a group of children had become a legendary tale, told and retold as a reminder of the power of unity and the endless possibilities it holds for a future where all can thrive together in peace.